today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series Kylo Ren. This is figure number 3 from the Star Wars Black Series new line for The Force Awakens. Kylo Ren is the baddie for the upcoming movie. I'm so super excited. Can't wait for it to come out. He does come with his 3-bladed lightsaber. Down below a picture of Kylo Ren. I really love him. I mean, he's such a cool design character. He's kind of like an amalgamation of, just like his look. He's an amalgamation of Darth Sidious, maybe Darth Maul, and Darth Vader, kind of all mixed together. Spin around the back of the package. Again, Kylo Ren is figure number 3 from the Force Awakens Black Series. The read-up says, a dark warrior strong with the Force, Kylo Ren commands first-order missions with a temper as fiery as his unconventional lightsaber. Spots also had a look at the vinyl bobblehead, and it seems like they are using the same read-ups for a lot of the merchandise. So, just a little small thing I noted. To check out more from Star Wars, you can go to www.starwars.hasbro.com and also starwars.com/The Force Awakens. That being said, Spot's going to take a break. I'm going to get this opened up, and when we come back, we're getting a better look at the Force Awakens Black Series Kylo Ren. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Though he does not come with his own display stand, which is kind of disappointing, he does come, however, with his controversial 3-bladed lightsaber. I kind of like it. I like how it's got the, the beams on either side as well. I just imagine, like, if he's fighting somebody, he could kind of go for those cheap shots where he could impale somebody with the sides. And I think that's kind of neat. I like that. One thing to note as well with the lightsaber is that you can take the blade and you can unpeg it from the hilt. So if you want to just have him holding the lightsaber without it extended, you can do that as well. Lightsaber's painted pretty cool. It's got some gold going on there as well. Some gunmetal. There's kind of like a dark gray going there as well. It looks weathered. It looks old. It doesn't look shiny and pristine. I like that. And then just to peg this back into place, there's a little hole at the top. Easiest thing to do is peg it into the top, and then these just kind of sit on the sides very easily. I do also like that it's textured. It's not just one rod of red plastic. There's a little bit of texture to it. You would imagine if it was a beam, it wouldn't probably, now lasers granted are, straight beams, but you would imagine this would be more of a jagged kind of projectile rather than something just smooth. So I like that they would have sculpted it that way. You can, of course, take the lightsaber and you can put it into either one of his hands. And you can recreate, so far, about the only thing we've seen of Kylo Ren, and we've seen a little bit more of him recently, but him in the woods with his lightsaber in hand. This is an absolutely gorgeous figure, by the way. I'll just take the lightsaber out of his hand. I don't see a section, by the way, anywhere on his belt, anywhere that he can hold it, the lightsaber, by the way, when it's not in his hand. But I'm going to be displaying him with the lightsaber in hand. I can't see why I wouldn't. A great looking figure, though. One thing I love about it is that Hasbro went the route of giving him cloth. Now, some of the aspects, the back part of his cloak, this is plastic. This section right here is plastic. It wraps around to the front right here, but the rest of it is cloth. A nice touch by Hasbro. They could have given us this material, the plastic, on his entire body, but there's something about fabric, it just flows better than plastic. Plastic is so rigid, you can't move things too well, whereas the fabric has a natural flow to it. You can kind of have it billowing out. So I love that they went that route. However, though, I do appreciate that they went plastic up here just to give some added sculpt. Whereas if this was up here, it would probably just fall flat. So it's a good combination of two different mediums just, on Kylo here. His cloak, his hood, by the way, is, you can remove it and you can see his face underneath. Let's bring the camera in. I love the look of his face. This almost like a gas mask kind of breathing apparatus that he's got. Again, we don't know too much about the character just yet, but I like his look. There's never going to be a replacement to Darth Vader, but as it goes for, Siths and, Darth Maul was cool. I like Darth Maul. But I really dig the look of this guy. Now, while he's got the cloak and the rest of his robe here in this material, everything underneath is plastic. In fact, you can move the cloak out of the way and you can see how he's got the equivalent of a Jedi robe underneath here, but in plastic. And then his arms are plastic, his legs are plastic. So, again, I love that they incorporated two different mediums to this. When it comes to Kylo's articulation, his head is on a ball joint. It's a little harder to kind of move his head when he's got the hood over top. So you might want to kind of just sometimes maybe move the cloak out of the way, move his head, and then put the cloak hood over top. His arms are hinged out. They can hinge out. Rotate all the way around. He's also got a bend at the elbow, which rotates at the forearm. He's got a rotation point in his hand, which also hinges slightly. A swivel point in the waist, a little hindered by the fact that you've got the cloak going on here. And then his legs, as you can see, move very easily. One of the benefits of having cloth material on the figure as opposed to plastic. He has a swivel point at the top of the thigh. He has what appears to be a double bend in the knee. A hinge also in the foot, which also pivots. By the way, also, he does have peg holes on the undersides of his feet, but once again, it just seems harder and harder to find figures with display stands. Let's get the lightsaber finally into his hand once again. Unless you've been living in a cave, a satellite, underwater lair, I don't know. You probably have seen a whole slew of Star Wars stuff coming out. Lego's doing it. Hasbro, of course, got the monopoly on the Star Wars property. So it's a good time to be a Star Wars fan. Kylo Ren is a great figure. I love that they incorporated fabric as well as plastic. Well-rounded figure. And again, the Black Series, you can either go the size of a 6-inch figure that we were looking at today, but Kylo Ren's also available in this smaller, more tried and true 3 3/4 inch to 4-inch figure, and we're going to be looking at him as well. In the meantime, today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars Force Awakens Black Series. We're looking today at Kylo Ren. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more reviews of Star Wars stuff heading your way. Thanks for watching as you always do. I'll see you next time.